Well, you've heard me talk about the wonderful short book, and I throw in short in case anybody's intimidated by long books, called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It turns out that, as we know, this was written in 1942 when he was in Auschwitz concentration camp. And it's the development of his ideas of the meaning and importance of meaning itself in all of our life experiences, particularly in relation to suffering. And in terms of our survivability, our ability to survive challenges in our lives. At the core, is, according to him, is meaning, how we connect to meaning in those times. Well, it turns out that there's another book that's come out. It came out last year by Viktor Frankl, and it's called Say Yes to Life. I don't know if that was his title, maybe it was, but it's based on the lectures that he gave in the post-war period. And what he says, again, centering on this idea of the importance and value of meaning, might be really important for us today, particularly today. And that is that meaning can be derived in three ways, particularly. One is through our actions. And in his terms and in my understanding, actions are how we fill our days. What is it that we do in the day that is an action that relates to other people, our connection particularly to other people? So action is our volunteerism. And many of you that I'm talking to know the value of volunteerism and how that infuses meaning into your life. The other is creativity as a part of action, what we do. And for me, that's finding times and ways every day, in small ways, certainly every week, to be creative. Creativity can be pruning a tree or a shrub, picking roses and arranging them. It can be cooking a dinner with a sense of creativity, or painting, or even doodling. Something that is generative, us as generating something, putting something out in the world that might bring us joy, or at least a sense of accomplishment. The second part is loving, the second aspect of meaning, loving. Well, loving means so many different things in different contexts, but loving is always in the verb form. It's the gerund, it's ing, it is loving. It's pouring love into situations and moments and relationships. Take the last moment before you watch this video, or the last 5 minutes before, and ask yourself what the difference might have been if you'd poured love into that moment, into that response to an email, into that telephone conversation, into that view of yourself in the mirror, whatever it was. What would have been different had you made the decision to pour love into that moment? And how might that add meaning to you and a sense of your own agency in your life? The third part is surprising, and it might not be surprising in relation to Frankl, but it is surprising because we don't want it in our lives. It's called suffering. It's the burden. What Frankl says, and what I think all of us in the year 2021 have learned, is that it is through our burdens that we find meaning, and it is through our burdens ultimately that we grow. I think about going to the gym and hiring a trainer. If I really want to think about it from a transactional point of view, I'll say to him or her, I want you to lift the weights for me because I'm paying you after all, right? But the reality is his or her muscles get stronger while mine wither and become weaker. We know we have to pick up the weights. It's only through picking up the weights, whatever they are, physical, symbolic, that we grow, which means that in this moment of possible suffering or the next, we have the greatest potential to grow to our greatest selves and to find the most meaning in life. I hope these words, these thoughts are helpful to you.